I am Mark Stewart. I'm the LP candidate for vice president that you might not have heard much of. If I'm very new to you, please read forward and email me if you want to see more. I have plenty of links. The easy one, though, stewartforliberty.com. I've been running for liberty for over 20 years. Yes, there's a C-SPAN debate still on from early 2000 when I was in the New Hampshire primary against one Al Gore. And though I don't have tape of this, we campaigned in 2006 against a little known senator who was running for re-election named Hillary Clinton. So, aspiration is really to be president of the U.S. Senate. And that is the vice president's one and only one role, and it's one I would do well. I relish the chance to rein in a wayward and decrepit Senate, one that doesn't follow the Constitution, foists us with rules and regulations that aren't even allowed, and even if they were, are not wise. I will do many interests well if I can be nominated this weekend. My candidacy is very inclusive. It reinforces almost everything I hear from Larry Sharpe, Ken Armstrong, Spike Cohen. Indeed, I am hoping that our nominee will accept and our delegates would then nominate one of us who would actually resign after 18 months if elected in favor of the next, another 18 months succession, and then another resignation for a third, and maybe even a fourth if we get to an extended LP presidency that runs 8 years instead of 4. I would relish that. So if you're new to Stewart for Liberty, please check it out. There's over 500 videos there. I mean, that includes my governor campaign of 2018, and then more recently, 6 months worth of national-oriented videos, 5 minutes each on average. There's stuff for libertarians especially, stewartforliberty.com/FOR-libertarians. And there's stuff for everyone, though. There's stuff for conservatives, stuff for progressives, stuff for totalitarians. Not many, but we have to admit there's a category there, which Trump might occupy. The relevant videos at Stewart for Liberty are probably more plentiful than those of any one of our presidential candidates. And I suspect I might actually have more than the prominent presidential candidates combined. All right, finally, check out at least 2 videos from the one state where I campaigned on Super Tuesday, Vermont. And messages to and about Vermont are still very relevant. Now, what may be really relevant is part of the VP message that I'm carrying. On that Super Tuesday, though I never set foot in California, though there was no events, no media, no yard signs, on Super Tuesday in California, I got 3,000 votes. Now, that's in the Democrat Party's primary. Me, a little unknown libertarian. So people only had seen a posting from the California Secretary of State. I was able to put up 3 articles and a little bit of position. Our principles carried 3,000 votes among Democrats, okay? And this isn't default votes because there were 20 other choices, okay, ranging from Elizabeth Warren to Tulsi Gabbard. And here's little me sandwiched between Sanders and Steyer with Stewart. 3,000 votes. Now, on the same day, the California Secretary of State offered the Libertarian primary, where if I was in that, my 3,000 votes would have placed me 4th. Okay? Only Jacob, Joe, and Adam had higher totals that day. Now, this is not to say that I'm more appealing than Jacob, Joe, or Adam. Here's what it is saying. That A, unknown Mark Stewart, okay? Unknown to other people, I have no presence, getting still 3,000 votes. Unknown Mark Stewart, okay? Not well-financed, not a big name, no contacts in California, gets 3,000 votes. A better known Joe Jorgensen, Adam Kokesh, Jacob Hornberger, if campaigning to Democrats would have gotten probably 300,000 votes. The Democrats are where the votes are. We should be fishing there. Too many people in the Libertarian Party prefer to be cloistered. I want to go even more overt. I'm hoping that our presidential nominee actually announces a cabinet with really good libertarians, but also a couple decent, with integrity anyway, but wayward, Democrats and Republicans. Announce that we are a party that is at a pretty big level, okay? Don't discount us. And even though Bernie Sanders is not going to be our IRS commissioner, make that announcement anyway. Why not? And with it, some likers of Bernie Sanders, the voters who we could use in November, might gravitate our way, especially when they're faced with that odious choice of Donald Trump or Joe Biden. We should be assertively going after the mass of Democrat voters. Where am I an asset to our party running as VP? It's because I am a Democrat until just a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I've been a long-time Libertarian donor. I'm a lifetime member. But registration, mostly Democrat, longer than Bernie Sanders. And with it, I have some cred within the Democrat Party. Again, the biggest party where we should fish. As a VP candidate, my job is to go after Congress. The horrors that they do, that they hurt ordinary Democrat voters. Congress is hated, okay? They have a worse ranking by people who are assessing them, the IRS, and even the CIA. Congress is worse in terms of approval. So this is easy pickings. And it's pickings against not individuals, but the system. If I'm selected the LP's VP, you won't see me go personally against Mike Pence, but I will go against the Senate that he has led terribly. I won't go personally against Amy Klobuchar, who I think is a likely nominee of Biden for VP. She's been in the Senate and hasn't done anything helpful, done a lot of things hurtful. Maybe it's not Amy, but Michelle Obama. I think a more powerful choice. And 8 years in the White House, what have they done for Americans? We've gotten hurt over her 8 years. He might go outside the box. I don't think so. But if he really wanted the most compelling Democrat, he wouldn't even use a public official. He'd pick Oprah Winfrey. And how do you go at her? Lovely Oprah. You go at big media, because that's what she's a part of. And big media, along with the government media complex, has really made ordinary businesses, ordinary Americans submerged. Libertarians don't do that. Can we win in November? I will talk about that in a session with any who want to attend. I do this at 5 p.m., 5:05 technically, and again at 11. Join me tonight on Zoom and every Thursday night. Zoom.us. The code is 493-610-6872. No password is needed. Thanks for attending here. I look forward to hearing more from you.